Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chapter 9 of my Fire Emblem 11 Hard 5 0% Gross playthrough, hosted by Untitled and Mekkah.
Hi.
According to the plot, Marth has to flee to the Pyrrhia Isles for some reason, but I think that a better name for this place would be the Asshole Isles, because it's full of assholes. All of them include the enemy Maneki boss, who is like Bantu in terms of class, but he is unlike Bantu in every other way because he is much better, tougher, faster, stronger, and he actually has a weapon, which is kind of important. And it's very hard to find a way to deal with him without resorting to some cheesy strategy. This chapter is also full of enemy pirates, and we thought we'd bid farewell to them after Chapter 2, but no, they are back to annoy us one more time. They will pursue us across the water, and one of them in particular is the biggest asshole of all because he has a double axe. And as you know already, the double axe is very hard hitting, very accurate, and we don't want to count on the enemy to get unlucky with taking recoil damage.
So Wolf and Setgar see all these axe-wielding assholes around them, and insecure teenagers as they are actually very conformists, so they actually go to axe-using classes themselves. Wolf bravely goes warrior, and Setgar goes one step further. He declares himself the Messiah, goes berserker, and now he can walk on water, which is pretty awesome. Jagan and Wendell were in an argument over the dragon that Wendell stole from Jagan when he wasn't looking. Wendell was forced to give it back to Jagan, but he actually gets the last laugh in his mind because the dragon doesn't seem that good in this chapter, since using lances gets you weapon triangle disadvantage.
However, although Wendell is crafty, Jagan is the wiser one, and he actually had a plan in mind for when he wanted to go back to Draco Knight, as is evidenced by the fact that everyone is going one way except Jagan is going the other. So he knows what he's doing here.
Yeah, Wendell also needs to go Sage because we need the Excalibur offense on this map, particularly against the boss, but it's useful in general. And also Wendell needs to get in a couple more staff uses to get to see staves and use warp. You might notice that Marth is going to be headed in a completely different direction than anyone else, even away from the season point. It's because just like in Chapter 7, there's a village that he needs to visit that's very far away from the season point, and there's no real way to avoid it other than by having Lena follow him around and warp him back later. And he's also going to be assisted by Roche.
Right, Roche needs to stand in front of Marth basically to kind of block the enemy pirate that's nearby. The pirate can't destroy the village because they can't do that in this game, although they could in like other older Fire Emblem games. The real reason for that is because if the pirate goes unblocked, he'd advance far enough to block the bridge, and then we would actually have to kill him. And rather than killing him, it's just easier to block him off so that Marth gets free access to the village, and no one has to waste resources to make sure that he dies.
Yeah, we need to avoid killing a lot in this chapter in general because we just don't have the means to kill everything that we see. These enemies are very strong, and if you do not divert them in the right way, they stand in the way and maybe gang up on you or block a point that you want to get across, like that bridge near the last island. So we have Setgar and Forst distract a couple of enemies, and Setgar in particular, he was like, I took one hit and he just scared out and got away.
Merrick is also in the same position. He was supposed to have taken the hit, but the pirate actually missed him. But he's also going to get the heck out of there. And Jagan took a hit, but not only that, he also ended up drawing one of the enemy pirates to move towards him instead of towards Wendell.
So Wolf goes into a very, very scary double axe duel where either of him and the pirate could just kill himself, but he ended up barely surviving, and with his jet damage and Navarre's use of 11 sword, Arden had just enough power to kill him off with his steel sword.
We should probably talk about the treasure chests in this chapter in addition to the other side objective, the village. Marth visited the village to recruit George. He is a sniper. Snipers are a pretty good class in this game. They kind of have like average movements on the ground with 7 movement. They have a base C rank bows, but George has a much higher base rank in bows. And they also have like decent base stats all around, in contrast with the archer class who has terrible base stats all around.
Yeah, so the chest is very far away from Julian or anyone who could really open that chest, so we don't really want to divert our attention. The weapon in it, the Worm Slayer, is not really worth getting. It's nice for getting effective damage on these dragons, but we're better off dealing with this guy right here with an Excalibur crit.
Yeah, Wendell has basically just barely enough attack at base with his base magic and his B-rank tomes to 3-hit KO the boss, so unfortunately we need to rig kind of a cheesy strategy here, but that's the only option that we have. I want to go back to the treasures for a moment. The treasures that Julian does get are a bullion, which is a good chunk of money, and a goddess icon, which normally would be kind of useless, but in this game, like, a lot of characters have very low luck, so rather than selling the goddess icon, we are actually benefiting from potentially using it on someone. But that's chapter 9 completed in 4 turns. We will see you next time.
See ya.